The reason why I want to explain to Star Raven, explain Summerland and Rainbow Bridge, because the way Lady Vampy, Shadow Vampire, had explained it, it's a beautiful, enlightening imagination, which is true. That's the way it is. But there's people here that some of them don't understand, like Lady Diane. She has to have a little, I want to give a little picture of Summerland and Rainbow Bridge. And when she had said, when Vampy had said, that's where our pets wait for us.
Right. The vision that I have of Summerland is basically what Vampire had said, was, to me, Summerland, when I see someone pass, and I have helped people pass that way, I see a split railing, split fence, like you would see out west, and I see a huge fence. And there is a gate there, and when they pass over, or when they're allowed to go into Summerland, that gate opens, and it's a huge meadow, a lot of wildflowers. I see mountain peaks. The sun is always shining. It's very warm there, very comforting. With the Rainbow Gate or Rainbow Bridge, I see the same thing. It is a fencing of sort. We can't go over there because we're of the breathing, we're of the living. So there is a fencing there. Exactly. We can only go as far as the fence. But the pets they're there, and they're people. I see people taking care of them, and they can't take care of themselves. So they have people to nurture them and love them and wait for their significant others to come over, so that they can be with them.
Yeah, they're in
That's
the
what I
third
see.
dimension. That's why we can't reach over to them.
Right. There's a reason for that. You don't want to get caught over there. No. You really don't want to get caught in Summerland because you don't belong there if you're still breathing.
Exactly. Okay, Lady Vampire, that's why I wanted her to explain it, because Lady Diana is my sister, and she used to be a Wiccan years ago in her teen life, and she's transformed herself into another path. But Wicca has always been in her heart, because she loves just every religion, and she learns by what she's just very enthused about hearing again about our religion. That's why I had to have it break down. Now, back to Lady Vampire Shadow, everybody. She's a psychic animal, a psychic for animals. And I'm sure a lot of the witches here are Wiccan friends and pagan friends, Celtic friends, Druid friends, shaman friends. I'm sure a lot of you have this ability, this gift that was given to us by our Blessed Mother and Lord and Lady and Goddess. Tonight is very interesting for me because I've always had this thing when I see Lady, believe it or not, Lady Vampire Shadow. When I look at her picture, I have this vision of her, of this small little petite person, and with a big, powerful mind, with this gift that's so extraordinary that wherever she goes, I'm sure if she's walking down the street and there's pets all over the place, people...
No doubt.
Their dogs are outside barking. Their cats are hanging on their windowsill. Birds are flying, or birds are in their cage on their porch. I'm just picturing this beautiful Wiccan witch walking down her street, and all these animals can contact her.
And that's immediately
she's like Dr. Doolittle.
Yeah, that's exactly.
She's like a little Miss Dr. Doolittle. Could you imagine everybody out there that are listeners and to this show tonight? Could you imagine what it's like for her to wake up and go outside, just to go jogging? Could you tell us a little bit about maybe something like that, Lady Vampire?
Jogging, and a St. Bernard would be right next to her.
Yeah. Could you tell us, Lady Vampire, what is it like for you to get up in the morning and just go outside and see all these animals around you? And I'm sure you're in a woodsy area.
Yeah, like where I am right now, it's a very rural community, and it's about 700 meters between neighbors. So when I go walking, I might not even come to anybody's house. But I'll see, in the summertime, I'll see lots of birds and animals and stuff like that. But when I lived in the city, I would go walking. It was houses like not even 50 feet away from each other, and there'd be cats in windows, and when I go to people's houses, they're usually, unless the animal is a little having an off day or grumpy or depressed in general, then they will come up to me.
Yeah, they're drawn to you. Yeah.
And I find that with children too. I mean, I don't want to have any kids of my own. If it happens, I'll accept it, but my plans do not include children at this moment.
Oh,
but
we talked about that, haven't we?
Well, I think because you probably have so many children right now, at your young age, you're probably not thinking, well, if I have children now, I'm so busy out there with the other little children, the chipmunks, the birds, the puppies, the dogs, the cats, the alligators, the fish.
Porthole.
I mean, you have a handful.
The porthole.
Yeah, I find that small children, they flock to me. Like my husband and I, we went in for lunch in the nearest community. They have a little restaurant, and it was around noon, so people were there for lunch. And people had their small children and their grandchildren there. And the smallest ones, the ones that were between 3 and 5 years old, would stare at me and they would smile, and they were just really excited and happy. And there was this one little girl, she came up and my husband, I don't think he's seen her because we were sitting in a booth. She'd come up and she'd stand just behind him and she'd be just a-waving and smiling and saying hi. But I think she was a little shy of strangers, so she didn't come right up. But she would stand back and she'd wave.
Wow.
And I just find it so funny how children and animals really, they know who's good. They know who has a good soul and who they can trust.
Well, that's because of their innocence, right?
Yeah,
MadamStar vampire.
And they're so open-minded.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with that. We're going to go ahead and take a quick 1-minute break. I'm going to put some music here because it's just perfect for this kind of theme that we have here for Lady Vampire Shadow.